Back again with some more Gripped Media reactions. Okay, so today we have Michea Martin saying free speech doesn't apply to blatant lies. Okay, now of course, Michea Martin doesn't understand what free speech means, guys. It covers a whole swathe of different things, okay, which could mean anything, okay? It can mean hate speech, it can mean anything, guys. You could talk shy, it doesn't really matter. Now, especially on social media, most of it is just speculation, but they're trying to make speculation illegal now, okay, which is unfortunate. Now, this one should be interesting, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We've debated this free speech topic many times. Free speech should be absolute. Okay, there should not be any sort of imposing, regulations on it by the government whatsoever. So make sure to stay tuned for this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's hear what he says.
Communications has confirmed to me that there has been no research done by their department into the potential free speech impact of misinformation and disinformation regulations, and obviously this is a very significant move that the government is making. I believe it's mentioned about 9 times in the program for government that regulating misinformation is important. Is it not very irresponsible to not do any kind of research into how this might impact on something like free speech or potentially be misused or abused?
Well, there was a good bit of research this morning on Morning Ireland about misinformation last Sunday in respect of the shooting in Carlow. There was a researcher on identifying the blatant misinformation, untruths and lies surrounding what happened in Carlow. So I do think it's absolutely important that government focuses on this issue.
Well, like I said, guys, someone coming on Twitter and posting a video, like everyone made fun of Derek Bly because he came on the internet and started saying 7 people got shot, whatever. This is just hearsay and speculation. Nobody actually knew what happened. I myself said a couple things that I think were not 100% correct, but mostly what I said was correct. But I just followed the mainstream news at the time, videos from X. I didn't say anyone got shot. I just heard that a 9-year-old girl got injured, and some guy was shooting a gun. So how could she get injured? What ended up happening is she actually fell over, she scraped her knee, and then the guy actually ended up taking his own life, okay? So he ended his own life, whereas I thought the police shot him, which would be a pretty logical conclusion. If the police see you with a gun shooting around the place trying to kill people, they would shoot you. That's normally what happens in police shootings, but, unfortunately, that's not the news. That's not exactly what happened. And I just came on and was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what happened. I wasn't trying to speculate or say anything crazy like that, but maybe some people are trying to push their own agenda, but it doesn't really matter, guys. That's free speech. I'm all for that, okay? If you want to come on and say 30 people got shot in that shooting, when obviously that's not the case, that's your right to do so, guys. If people believe you, they're the idiots, guys. They're the flipping retards, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just believe everything you see on the internet. It's like everyone that's on the internet has to have this massive journalistic integrity. It's like, dude, like, I'm just coming on here to give my information about what I think, okay? And my information. The facts are the facts. Not every single fact that everyone says in life is going to be right or going to be wrong, unfortunately, okay? The world doesn't have a flipping fact checker, okay?
Obviously, in any analysis and evaluation of policy, account will be taken in respect of protecting freedom of speech.
But that hasn't been done.
But it's not freedom of speech really when it's just a blatant lie and untruth, which can create a lot of public disquiet, as we have seen.
Well, it is freedom of speech when it's a blatant lie. Like, it is, guys, because we can't determine whether or not this person is blatantly lying or not. Free speech is absolute. I'm sick of these people coming on here. You have now influencers, Protein Bar, all these idiots, Roz Purcell, all these people in the comment section. There's a whole load of them. Every single influencer that you guys see on TikTok or Instagram is blatantly on left-wing Marxists. We saw Garen now, the same thing, okay? I'm not, okay? I'm going to give you guys the hard truths, okay? This is why my channel is, popping off and, it does well, because most of these influencers are bought and paid for by the system. I'm funded myself. I fund my own stuff. People like Michea Martin are funded by the EU, the UN to push, to push restricting freedoms of speech. It's unreal, guys. It's unbelievable.
So these issues do need to be addressed. They're challenging issues. There are very strong protections in our constitution and in our laws on freedom of speech. So I wouldn't overstate the impact on clamping down on blatant lies online as a sort of incursion or an undermining of freedom of speech. We believe in freedom of speech in this country.
So, he's actually wrong there again. He says that we have very strong freedom of speech laws. We actually don't, guys. They brought in a new sort of hate laws already in 2024. As well as that, we can't make fun of the state or something like, the church. Okay, that's actually in the Constitution. We're not allowed to insult the church. We're not allowed to insult the state. Okay, in the US, they have a final freedom of speech. It's their First Amendment in the Constitution. Everybody knows that. In Ireland, we don't have a First Amendment like they have in the US. So he's actually wrong on two accounts there. So
we will always support it and protect it to the best possible degree.
But do you not think it's important that the state would do an analysis of the kind of described?
Before any measures are introduced, we do an evaluation.
He really doesn't want to answer questions. He's like trying to look for any other questions. God, this is just awful, man.
Do you not think it's important that the state would do an analysis of the kind of described?
Before any measures are introduced, we do an evaluation.
But that hasn't been done, is the point.
Hold on, I just said this morning. What have you to say about this morning's? Has anybody commented? And I watched the social media. People were saying in some social media, of course, that 7 people had been killed. That people had been shot but were not shot. And I'm conscious that there's a family in mourning right now. But the level of misinformation on Sunday was quite shocking. And we can't just ignore that and say, well, we don't have to do anything about that.
Well, hang on a second. Okay, 2 things there. He said that, again, Derek Blyde came on and said 7 people got murdered. Okay, that obviously wasn't correct. That was just hearsay. That was information that he was getting from other people. So he wasn't in the wrong to say that. Obviously, it's completely wrong factually, okay? The only thing that happened was the guy shot himself. But then he said that the family are in mourning. Well, the guy chose to come into a shopping center and try to kill as many people as possible, I suppose. I don't know. I got a load of comments saying, oh, be nice to the guy that came in and tried to shoot up the place. Why would I be nice to that guy? That guy made his choice in life. Like, was he there for a haircut? He was there to eat some flipping cheesecake? No, he was there to shoot as many people as possible. Why would you come into a shop with a handgun and a flipping semi-automatic rifle unless you're there to cause as much damage and harm and kill people as possible? You're not there to flipping have barbecue to get McDonald's. Like, you're not there, there's shopping centres all over Dublin and all over Ireland. You're not there to flipping have fun and, hey, how's it going? You're there to kill people if you have a gun. Are people stupid? I swear some people in my comments are just the dumbest people alive. Like, and who cares if the family are mourning? That guy wanted to kill people, so I don't care, like, honestly, guys. He wants to kill other people, so karma's a bitch, like, you know what I mean? And he ended up taking his own life because I'm not sure why. It's very, very odd, guys. Very, very odd. A lot of these mass shootings and these sort of, potential mass shootings are like, sort of performative suicides, okay? The performative ending of your own life, because they're going to kill a bunch of people and then they're going to kill themselves. That's what it is, right?
Just to be clear, again, all I'm asking about specifically is, as I say, the fact that you yourself acknowledge that there's a balance that needs to take place. I'm not sure where the balance comes in if there's been no analysis done to protect the legitimate speech aspect. That's the purpose of the question.
I believe that's I believe that certain people are overstating the dangers to freedom of speech in efforts to address misinformation and untruths. And I think we have to do that too. The same focus doesn't seem to apply to the untrue part of this or the misinformation part of this. It needs to be focused on that too.
Do you start to leave as a student?
The dangers of freedom of speech, like what danger would it have? Danger to the government, maybe. Okay, it's not dangerous for the people. The people should have more laws. There should be less oversight from the government. I hate this big, massive government oversight, massive, all these different laws coming in. Like, we're not going to be able to take a piss without the government looking down on us to see what size our dick is. That's what's gonna happen eventually, guys. And they're gonna see a big ass dick if they look down on me, guys. You understand? But you know what I mean, guys? Like, it's like they're just looking at everything. They're looking at your laptop. They monitor our phones. Like, they monitor our phone shit. They monitor everything now. It's just completely absurd, guys. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, we can't take a shit without the flipping government having a look. You know what I mean? You can't flipping do anything now. Nah, this government oversight's gone way too far, man. It's good to see that, Gript Media and people like that are pushing back. Was Derek Blyde intending to create havoc when he said loads of people got shot? Maybe. I don't know the guy personally. I don't know him from a can of paint. But the thing is, guys, you know, he didn't say the race of the guy. He didn't say anything about the guy. He didn't say he was a black guy or a foreigner. He just said that loads of people got shot, like, which could have potentially happened. Why would a guy be in a supermarket with a gun? You know, it seems pretty logical that would have happened. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to help push back against the mainstream media, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.